Let me tell you about the biggest lie people still believing in the US. For 30 years people thought that earning $100,000 was the goal. It meant having a job, a big house and being able to live comfortably. It meant being able to walk into any restaurant without worrying about the prices. In America today that number means something. It is no longer a sign of success. It is just enough to get by. The truth is, many people with six-figure salaries are not as well off as they seem. They look rich on paper. They cannot afford a $500 emergency without using a credit card. They have an income but they do not have financial security. So let's forget about the job titles and social media posts. Let's take a look at what earning $100,000 really means. It is not about the brochures or ads. It is about the money people have in their bank accounts. We will show you what $100,000 buys. In this country, not what it says on a brochure but what it shows on a bank statement. We start with a person who earns $100,000 in New York City. This sounds great. It is in the 20% of earners in the country. 10 years ago this kind of money made people feel good about themselves. Today it is a story. Let us look at the numbers. The federal government takes 22% of this money. The state of New York takes 6.85%. The city of New York takes 3.87%. Then there is FICA, which takes 7.65%. Before this person can even buy a cup of coffee, 39% of their money is gone. They do not really take home $100,000. They take home $61,000. This is $5,000 a month. Now let us see what happens next. The average one-bedroom apartment in Manhattan costs $4,300. A MetroCard costs $297. A simple lunch, like a coffee and a salad, costs $18. This is the way it is now. This person is not poor. They have money to eat and live. Every single dollar they earn is already spent before they even get it. This is what I call the prestige trap. This person is just getting by. They are not really getting ahead. They do not have any money. In today's economy, having some extra money is very important. Now let us move that salary to Austin, Texas. There is no state income tax in Austin, Texas. There is no city tax in Austin, Texas. The salary that you take home jumps to $6,500 a month. The math for this salary should work. It used to work for people with this salary. Here we meet the invisible villain, which is the housing velocity in Austin, Texas. That same one-bedroom apartment that cost $1,200 in 2019 now costs $2,200 today. Property taxes in Austin, Texas are 3% annually. These taxes are passed through to renters in ways that you do not see on the lease for your apartment. The car payment that you did not need in New York is now mandatory in Austin, Texas. The car payment is $400. The insurance for the car is $200. The gas for the car is $200. The $200 brunch that signals you have made it is something that people in Austin, Texas with a salary like this feel like they need to have. The Peloton financing is another expense that people with this salary in Austin, Texas have. The subscription services that are stacked 17 on your phone are also something that people with this salary in Austin, Texas have. This couple with this earner and this salary sits in the top 15% of American households by income, and yet they feel the same tightness as the New Yorker with a similar salary. How is that even possible for people with this salary in Austin, Texas? It is possible because of lifestyle inflation in Austin, Texas. We are biologically wired to expand our spending to match our zip code, like the zip code in Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas is no longer the bargain it once was for people with this salary. The gap between the life we believe six figures should look like and the life that cities like Austin, Texas actually permit is where all the anxiety lives for people with this salary. Now zoom out. Move that salary to Columbus, Ohio, Indianapolis, Kansas City. Suddenly the one-bedroom apartment costs $1,100. The car is still something you need. The traffic does not take up 2 hours of your life every single day. The groceries are 30% cheaper. The take-home pay is the same. The salary goes a lot further. This is the difference in cost of living that nobody talks about. If you make $100,000 in San Francisco, you get a lot lot of stress. You have to live with roommates when you are 35 years old. If you make $100,000 in Ohio, you can buy a house with 3 bedrooms and you can put money into your 401k without worrying. Read that again. You are making the salary. You are putting in the effort. You are getting the W-2 form. Your life is totally different. The thing is, your wealth in America is not really about how you work anymore. It is about where you live. Your salary is connected to your location, not your job. There is a bigger problem. In cheap cities, we are losing a lot of money through hidden taxes, the 401k contribution that freezes your money until you are 59 and a half years old, the health insurance premium that takes $500 every month before you even meet your $6,000 deductible, the FICA tax that takes 12.4% of your income if you work for yourself, which most people do nowadays because everyone is a freelancer. We have created a system where making $100,000 is not a deal. It is a starting point. The cost of living in America goes up by 7% every year. Your salary only increases by 3% and you are supposed to be thankful for that. The cost of being alive keeps rising. Your money does not go far as it used to. You have to work to make ends meet. The system keeps changing, making it harder to get ahead. So what do you actually do? You cannot change the tax rules. You can change the way you do things. There are 3 simple steps to follow. Step 1. You have to stop thinking that the money you earn before taxes is really yours. It is not. It belongs to the government until you find a way to protect it. You should put much money as you can into a traditional 401k. This means $19,500 will not be counted as part of your income. This will immediately lower the amount of taxes you have to pay. For example, in New York, you will save around $8,000 in taxes this year. Step 2. It is very important to think about where you live and how it affects your money. If you can work from home 3 days a week, you should think about how it costs you to live in a certain place. Every day you spend in a place with taxes and high rent, you are paying extra money just to live there. It is like paying for a view. For example, someone who earns $90,000 in Raleigh can save money than someone who earns $120,000 in San Francisco. The numbers do not care about how you feel, they are facts. Step 3. You should automatically put away any money you get before you start spending it on things you do not need. When you get a raise, you should immediately put the money into a special account where you cannot easily spend it. If you cannot see the money, you cannot spend it on things like a Tesla that will lose a lot of its value soon as you buy it. The real change happens when you decide who you want to be. It is not about making a lot of money like $100,000. It is about what kind of person you become. You stop being the city person who is always worried and comparing yourself to others on Instagram. You become the person who builds wealth. This person knows that in America $100,000 is the beginning. It is where you start. Only if you are careful with your money. You have to keep the difference between what you make and what you spend. Do not listen to what people say about being rich. Do not believe that a big house or a fancy apartment makes you special. The only thing that tells the truth is the difference between what you earn and what you spend. If you like this video, please hit subscribe. I will see you in the one.